Hey guys! So, Haikyuu is finally back! I'm so happy and excited to have my favorite volleyball dorks back and pretty much animated. It was so... I don't know what I was feeling. I just felt so happy to see them animated and seeing, you know, the dorkiness that is Haikyuu. Pretty much what this episode did was pretty much bring you back into the Haikyuu world. And I was just so happy to see Suki and Yumagachi again. I was happy to see Kageyama and Hinata. I was just so happy to see everybody back. We have where Tanaka scores and we see Hinata and him pretty much go, wah! They're like happy. And then Tanaka pretty much has Kageyama do it. Is really awkward about it and it's just so funny. It's like these type of moments is what makes me love Haikyuu so much and like why I missed it so much. A little bit after that we have the teacher pretty much announce that they are going to Tokyo for a practice match with Nekoma and a few other schools. So everybody's pretty pumped about that. In this episode we see that Kyoko is pretty much looking for a new manager because she is her third year, she is going to leave soon. So she's pretty much looking for someone to replace her and take care of the team. We don't really see much of that other than she's just pretty much looking for someone. So she asks Hinata, you know, hey, do you know anyone that's not in the club? And that pretty much is it. So in this episode we get introduced to a new character from a different school. And this character, I can't say his name, so I'll call him the way Hinata calls him in this episode, which is Japan. I thought that was pretty freaking cute and awesome that Hinata just pretty much just calls him Japan. Because Kageyama and Hinata run into this guy for some reason. So we see that they go to this guy's school, which is pretty much like one of the top schools or for like the volleyball team. They have gone to nationals, I believe is what they were saying. I love the fact that Hinata was getting excited over everything that was going on in that school. He was getting excited that, you know, they had horses and they had a big field and they had a big school that looked like a hotel. And he got even more excited when he saw that the volleyball team had their own bus. And then Kageyama and Hinata were like, we're lost, and they just start hopping. And it was just really cute. Again, moments like these is what makes you love Haikyuu with this type of goofiness. Another goofy moment that I really liked about this episode was when Tanaka saw Oikawa in like this magazine and he was just kind of like gripping it and like wanting him. But there's this freaking quote that Oikawa says and it's just kind of like, what does he mean by that? And I'm just gonna post this picture like right here because this quote was like, oh, what? So Tanaka pretty much, you know, they start talking about that and Tanaka's pretty much like almost ripping the magazine, and then we have Suga pretty much is like, stop it, you're gonna rip it. Watching this whole episode made me realize how much I have waited for this episode and how much I love Haikyuu. It just, you know, it just makes you remember why Haikyuu is so amazing. Another thing that I have noticed was the animation. The animation is so much better than when it was the first season. I mean, the first season's animation is pretty good, but this season I felt like it was more like polished. Another moment that I really want to talk about is when Hinata gets that volleyball like in the air and the guy is just pretty much surprised that he can jump this high. And we see Kageyama with that weird creepy smile that could scare any children. Another thing that I really liked about this episode is that when they included Nekoma and we see, you know, when they're talking about Nekoma, we see that Kenma pretty much sneezes and his phone flies off and Kuro pretty much catches it. So this part was pretty much included in the manga, so just seeing it animated is just so cool and exciting. I love how Kageyama was pretty much talking about Kenma and Kenma pretty much gets like these chills and it was just really funny and goofy. So another thing that I really liked is at the very end of the episode where the teacher is pretty much saying, you know, you're all set, we're pretty much set to go, but you guys do realize you guys have exams at the end of the month. And we see Tanaka, Nishinoya, Kageyama, and Hinata pretty much just go blank, like, oh crap. And I was just dying the whole time because the teacher's like, you know that, right? And they're just kind of like, So pretty much we hear the teacher explain, you know, if you fail these, you're just gonna have to take like makeup classes for this, and you guys won't be able to go to the practice match with Nekoma and the other schools. And we see all of these 4 boys pretty much freaking out like, oh crap. And then the preview for next week's episode, there's this one part where Tanaka and Nishinoya are doing this, and the fact that they animated that, because that's like exactly in the manga, the fact that they animated it is just so awesome, and I just can't wait to see that next episode. The opening and the ending songs are so awesome and good. The opening is just, oh my god. But yeah, I love the opening and ending. They're just so good. I think this is gonna be like my favorite opening and ending compared to the first season. It's just, oh my god, it's just, it's so good. I'm sorry, now I'm like lost for words of how good this opening and this ending is. It's just really good. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Are you guys just as excited as I am that our volleyball dorks are back? So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! That Keith has like something going on in his body, and we see Juvia's inside his body, and that's pretty crazy. And we just see her pretty much going in his body and like blowing him up pretty much like a freaking balloon.